Right, so it's Mr. Dosser here, and today I'm going to talk about the Xbox Series X and the Series S and why you probably shouldn't buy one just yet. So let's get straight into it. If you could please like, subscribe, comment. You know, if you don't want to like, dislike. Any sort of criticism, comments, I'm welcome to anything, you know. Just let me know, what do you want to see? What do you want to see less of or more of? Just let me know in the comments below. So the Xbox Series X being much awaited, and it's launched worldwide pretty much. So you can get the Series S for £299 and the Series X for £449. There's a nice little table on Wikipedia. Wikipedia, obviously, as we all know, is the all-knowing encyclopedia. They never ever get anything wrong. Anyway, I have two problems though with the Xbox Series X. I mean, don't get me wrong, I love the design, I love the way it looks, I think it looks amazing. Let's have a look and see. It comes in like a cube form, Xbox Series X, I cannot spell. Here we go, Xbox Series X. I quite like this design. It looks very, you know what, if you have a sound bar, if you have a black TV, which most people do, and you know, an AV receiver like a Denon or Hi-Fi, whatever, this will fit in really, really nicely. It won't look out of place, whereas the PS5 probably would. Now this is the Xbox Series X. The Series S, slimline, comes in white. That probably won't fit as well. It is smaller though, so might fit physically better, but in terms of matching your other accessories and accoutrements, it probably won't. But again, a lot of people probably won't care about that. This is just an aesthetic thing. In terms of the differences between the Series X and S, originally I thought there wasn't going to be much of a difference. I thought, much like the PS5, it was going to be a digital version and a physical version. So the physical version being you have a CD, well, it's not a CD, not back in the 90s. You have a Blu-ray drive, and the other one doesn't have a Blu-ray drive. However, there is an actual physical difference in hardware. As you can see here, whilst they do have the same processor, Custom Zen 2, which is made by AMD, they actually have slightly different GPU. It's clocked slightly differently, and as you can see, you've got one operating, will produce about 4 teraflops, the other one at 12.15, so we're talking 3 times the amount. And same with the RAM. Not the RAM, sorry, the GDDR6, it's basically the graphics. 10GB versus 16GB. And internal storage, again, we're looking at half the storage via PCI-e Gen 4, or 4.0 as they call it, solid state drive. Now, bear that in mind, the fact there's a PCI-e on there. Just keep that in mind, because I'm going to get onto that. Expandable storage. I'm going to talk about that in a bit. As you can see, it says card. There's a reason why I want to get into that. External 3.1, thank goodness they finally embraced USB 3. It's taken so long for them to embrace USB 3, because USB 3 should be everywhere, to be honest. I don't know why it's taken so long, but at least they've done it. Now, the performance target, again, it's up to developers what they want to do. This is why I think if you're going to get one, get the Series X. If you have to get one of the two, don't get the Series S. If you want the next generation, if you're going to go get one now, get the Series X. Because there's no point. Because if you're going to go for the Series S now, you might as well wait for the prices to drop, wait a year or so, wait for all the content for the games to come out, and then go and see, okay, maybe I can get a cheaper, slightly used Series X for the same price I would have paid for a Series S at launch. And anyway, it's hard to find one at the moment. The main issues I have though are the expandable storage. Now, from what I know, the PCIe 4.0 slot there's actually an external one at the back of the console of the Series X. Now, this can be used as expandable storage, and apparently they're going to have little custom, if you want to call it, custom memory cards. So yes, we're harking back to the days of the Nintendo 64 or the PlayStation 1, where you had like a memory card. In fact, it's probably going to be similar to a PS1 size memory card. Obviously, the actual physical storage would be a lot more, because we're not talking a few megabytes, we're talking a terabyte. Now the problem I have is, since it's custom, we all know from the past, if ever a company has had its own tailored or custom software or memory upgrades or any sort of upgrade, they normally rip you off. It won't be, look at the price of a terabyte and you think, oh, a terabyte of storage would usually cost me £80 or £50 or £100, depending on what speed, what one you want. I wouldn't be surprised if they charge double that, if not triple. Because as we know, controllers, for instance, a controller costs 50 quid or £50 sterling or $50, $60 easily for a controller. I got a feeling they will do the same for this. And also, you can't use an external, whilst you can attach an external drive for your Xbox One games. It's a bit of a mouthful now, remembering One X series. There's a lot of X's, there's a lot of series and ones. You cannot use an external hard drive to install your Xbox Series X games. You cannot do that. And that's a bit of a risk, because we don't know. I mean, we do know now, because it's come out for about a week now, but we don't know exactly how big these games are going to be, because at the moment I have a PlayStation 4. I understand it's different PS4 to Xbox, but with my PS4, when I'm playing Call of Duty, Modern Warfare, Warzone, a simple update is anywhere between 35 to 45 gigabytes. And the actual game itself, when I look at how much space it takes on the hard drive, is anywhere up to 200 gigabytes. That's 200 gigabytes. That's a lot. And as we know, next generation usually means better graphics, better sound, takes up more memory, takes up more space. So how many of these games can you actually install? Will we end up with a lot more games like Warzone, like Modern Warfare, where taking up anywhere between 150 to 200 gigabytes is the norm? Whereas it was an anomaly on the PlayStation 4 and the Xbox One. Now is it just a case of, oh, that's the norm? Like if you get a really good next gen racing game, like the new Forza comes out next year or the year after, will that take that much space? That's the issue I have with the game. There are some positives to it, namely which the game switching ability. So whilst the UI hasn't changed that much, the interface, there is one really good feature where it instantly switches between games. So let's say you started playing one game and you want to switch to another one, it does it almost instantly. I'll give you a comparison. So on Windows, if you've got Windows 10 or if you're still running Windows 7, you might be running Windows XP, who knows? If you want to say you got Google Chrome open and then you've got Microsoft Word, you minimize one, you click on the other at the bottom of the taskbar, opens up instantly. Within a second, it's up. That's exactly the same with this system. They've made a way so you can actually multitask. So you can have one game running, pause it, press a button, switches to the next game, as if it's just another window. That is really good, and I really like that feature, and I hope that comes to the PlayStation 5 as well. It'd be really good. The only thing is that with, as I was saying, the problem with a lot of these games is the size of them, and with the size of them you have to think, right, how am I going to download that? And I think what they're going to do with the Xbox, or Microsoft's going to do, is the Xbox Live, they're probably going to have a cloud gaming service whereby you can try the game. They might give you a limited, like a demo, but instead of downloading the demo, because the demo itself will probably be 20, 30 or 40 gig, even 50 gig, who knows, they'll say, right, you can stream the demo, like cloud gaming from, there's other providers doing this cloud gaming thing. So you stream, as long as your internet connection is half decent, you can stream it to see if you like it. We'll let you stream it for about 20-30 minutes or so, give it a go. If you like it, you then have that option to buy. I think that way it will mean people are more likely to try the games that are more likely to buy. Because someone said to me, you can stream the game for half an hour, give it a go, you don't have to wait for it to install. You can play from like literally 10-20 seconds from pressing the try button. you're more likely to get more customers, more money that way than you are to say to someone, you need to wait 2 or 3 hours for this to download or whatever. Because the thing is, people are impatient. You know, I don't blame them. You know, people busy, got things to do. So I'd say that's probably the route they're going to go down. There's no guarantee, but it's probably the thing they're going to do in the future. But in general, the Xbox, there's a lot of rumours and stupid things about. Like, for instance, let me pause this. About smoking catching fire, like this. It's a load of rubbish. Ignore it. It's not true. It's like someone's saying here. Someone's saying, oh, turn that off. Look, people saying it could be in like a vape. So someone's putting a vape behind, and it's just see there, the bottom vape going up. It's just a load of nonsense. Don't believe it. Here, people saying that it runs hot and loud. I've seen tests on YouTube from several people where the running temperatures have been incredibly low. And not only have they been incredibly low, but they've also been incredibly quiet. Now, what you need to realise is a disc, when it goes into a drive, it will be loud. It will spin. It's spinning very fast. It will make noise. It's mechanical. Now, because it's slightly, the fan and internal slightly quieter than the previous generation Xbox, you will hear the disc a lot more. It'll be more audible. It's like an electric car. Electric car, there's no engine, it's a motor, it's almost silent, which means the other sounds, like the tyres, the road noise, etc., will become more prominent. So you need to bear that in mind. See, loud disc drive, load of rubbish, ping pong ball with its fan. Again, rubbish. People have done that. It doesn't work. I don't know why people do this. Do they just want this for clout, for just appeal? Just please don't spread nonsense. Anyway, that's my take on the Xbox, the new Xbox Series X and S. Let me know what you think. Are you getting one? Or are you waiting for the PS5? Or are you just going to wait till a year or so? Personally, for me, I'm going to wait at least a year or so. Number one, for the prices to drop. Number two, I'd also wait because sometimes what you find is the first generation, the first iteration of a device, there tends to be 1 or 2 design flaws. I just want them ironed out before I put my money into something like this, because I don't want a console that has issues or breaks down. I have to take it back. I have to send it back to get repaired, blah, blah. I don't want that hassle, so I'm going to wait. You know, if you want to go ahead and buy one. Just be a bit wary that, you know, issues might come about. But I think both companies, Sony and Microsoft, have got this one. They've sorted out all the design issues and everything else. It looks good, so we'll see what happens. But yeah, let me know what you think, and I'll see you next time.